Welcome to the Ascend Tournament Series mainstream. I'm Sporty FC, and my webcam's not here. What in the world is this? One moment, my webcam's not here. Well, we get that sort of. Welcome to the Ascend Tournament Series mainstream, everyone. I'm Sporty FC. Welcome to Week 2 and the Phoenix Cup here. As we get things underway in just a few moments, we've got 2 matches this evening, and I'm pretty excited for both of them here. I mean, we got some good matches here. Our first one will be Ukiyo Kaizen versus the Aura Hornets of Oralis GG, 2 teams that we saw last season. And our match later tonight will be Phantom Legacy and Infamous Thieves Eternals. So, 2 older teams and 2 kinda newer teams. I'll explain later why Infamous Thieves Eternal, not really a new team to us, even though they are a new name. And a somewhat new roster, as this match again of teams that have been here before. Ukiyo Kaizen was here last season in the ETS Season 4 Phoenix Cup. They made, I believe, a top 12 finish last season. Just could not make it in the top 8. Or Hornets were in the Catalyst Cup last season, which was the biggest division we've ever had, 32 teams total. They made top 8 in that division, which is actually a pretty impressive performance. And the roster itself hasn't changed much, the only difference really being that they've added in Duxie on their roster. Again, their team, who had to battle with the largest division we've ever had, doing pretty well. Again, the only thing is they got rid of Haku, they added in Duxie. That's it. For Hornets, they have not changed much since last season. A team that generally hasn't changed much since they've started competing. As Ukiyo Kaizen, again, have, I believe, changed a decent much. Yeah, their roster last season is almost completely different now, because the only person that's remaining is Aizbo. They've added in Beziki and CJ Godzilla. So their roster itself has changed, even though it's the same name. And because of these changes, they're actually one of the scarier teams this season. Last season, they were a bit of an unknown. They were able to do pretty well in the division, but it was also the Group B division, which, if you know Phoenix Cup last season, that was the kind of the cupcake division. That was a division of teams that turned out by the end of the season weren't going to do that well. So this is a different season for them. They're in a different grouping with some pretty good competition this season with Chill Stars and Torrent Typhoon, both teams that I think are going to be really interesting to pay attention to. They're going to have a tough division here to get it, but they're definitely, I mean, it's one of those 3 teams going to get that number 1 spot almost guaranteed. Ukiyo Kaizen are definitely a team that could do it. Their new roster this season. So, again, we'll see how they do here. But again, they're 1-0, or Hornets are 0-1. Kaizen swept their Week 1 match against Team Evo Eclipse, who used to be known as, they went by a different name before. Go by Deep Zero, I believe it was. They went by before. Unfortunately for Team Evo Eclipse, they're not having a great start to their season here. But again, Ukiyo Kaizen won in a sweep. As for Aura Hornets, their first match was against the Chill Stars, and they got swept. So I think they've learned pretty quickly. Chill Stars are going to be a tough team to play against, and I think if you're Ukiyo, you're looking forward to playing against the Chill Stars. They're a good team. They're a scary team. They do play them, I think, in Week 5. Yeah, they play them in Week 5, at the last week of the season. So again, it's shaping up to likely be Ukiyo Kaizen and the Chill Stars, who are going to be battling for that top seed at the very end of the season. I don't think people are really too surprised by that. It was either going to be those 2 teams or maybe Torrent Typhoon. That's about it. I think is what people are expecting. So again, it's likely that we're going to be shaping up to that match at the end of the season, determine the number 1 overall spot in their group. But for now, for Ukiyo Kaizen, I mean, they won their Week 1 match against Team Evo Eclipse. Or Hornets are definitely a roster that we're going to have to watch out for. I mean, as you saw from Evo Eclipse, they're already making roster changes after that Week 1 performance, so they're not exactly a team that's really comfortable in how they're playing. I think we're going to have to see a lot more from them overall here on how they perform. Again, I think this match could be more telling to what we get out of Ukiyo Kaizen here, because simply put, what we saw from them last week may only just be because of who they played against. So, again, for now, we'll just have to wait and see here. Again, we're going to get these players in the lobby in just a moment. Ukiyo Kaizen, again, taking on the Aura Hornets. And again, later tonight, we'll have another match for you all from the Catalyst Division. It'll be Phantom Legacy and Infamous Thieves Eternal. That'll be a good matchup. I'm looking forward to that. That's a good match. As, hey, everybody's in, and by the way, before we even get into this one, there's a couple name differences here. Vasts also goes by Montesi. He signed up as Vasts. I know he's gone by Montesi before. course, Beziki, he plays on console, I believe. So his username is actually not Beziki, it's John Scopes. His Discord name is Beziki. He prefers to go by Beziki. So you can hear me go by their preferred names, by the names that they signed up under. But again, some slight name differences. And when we get into this game, I'll remind you all again who is who on this field. But for Ukiyo Kaizen, it is, well, they only have 3 players, so it's all of them. It's Aizbo, Beziki, and CJ Godzilla on Aura Hornets. They have a couple players to choose from. It is Duxie, who is here, along with Vasts. That's loud. Along with Vasts and Clarky. Again, they're all here. This is a best of 5, obviously, with it being week 2. I'm really interested in this Ukiyo Kaizen team. They're new. We saw them a good amount last season as they tried to win out their group. They didn't. They got second in their group, but they didn't have a very good run in their in that last chance in the final bracket qualifier. They couldn't get through the top 16 portion, so they're hoping obviously this season will be different. They're a high seed this season, not a middle seed like they were last season. Their roster's different. I think it's scarier than it was last season. Even though a good amount of the players that were on this Ukiyo Kaizen team last season are still here this season. They're just on different. And I'm looking forward to what we're going to get out of this Ukiyo Kaizen side. Again, last season they had Clay, they had Kazu, they had Soapy. Clay I know is still here, I believe. Yeah, he's on Gryffindor Haru now this season, which is another decent team. I mean, they lost week 1. They lost to a Mafia Vendetta team that always seems to be really tough. Yeah, Clay's here again this season. I believe Kazu's still here this season. Yeah, Kazu's also on Haru. So, actually, the Gryffindor Haru side is actually more of the old Ukiyo Kaizen roster than the new Ukiyo Kaizen team is. Again, that's how these teams work. So often you see teams, break apart, come back together, and come back together in different ways for Aizbo, who wants to win one of these tournaments. I mean, he wants to win one of these. I know if there's anybody here who wants to win, it's going to be Aizbo. He wants to win one of these tournaments. He tried to last season. He was pretty confident last season, but he got a real welcome there in the top 16 portion. So, yeah, he's going to hope that this season's a little better. And I think it's a tougher group for him as well this season, just on paper. So, let's get things going. The new and improved Ukiyo Kaizen taking on Aura Hornets. Ukiyo, who swept their week 1 match over Team Evo Eclipse, now takes on Aura Hornets on the orange, who are 0-1, trying to redeem themselves from getting swept in week 1 to a Chill Stars roster that, like Ukiyo Kaizen from last season, are looking to make adjustments here as Ukiyo takes to the blue, Aura Hornets on the orange. And it's week 2 of what will be a 5-week regular season in the Phoenix Cup. Some of these divisions are 7 weeks long. I know our Hornets were used to a 7-week long season from last tournament. That was a little shorter, a little different. Means that every match is going to be even more important for you. You don't have nearly as much time to recover and adapt. You have. Means that if you don't play well by the beginning of the season, you may not have a chance of making that final bracket. As Aura Hornets trying to get the up and started here. A couple demos in front. Don't really do much to test the Ukiyo Kaizen backline as Aizbo jumps in. And as I said before, here's Vast, aka Montesi. Now in CJ Godzilla, can't find the shot. Clarky will keep things on, and if I'm not wrong, Clarky is British, so he's one of the few players this season that's playing from EU. We had a lot of EU players last season, not as many this season, due to the fact that most of the players last season that were EU were from Project Lunar, who themselves have only brought one team back this season, that being Lunar Echo in our Ascension Cup. Actually, that team in Lunar Echo is actually not an EU-based team, they're North America-based, so Aizbo clear this one out, goes straight to Duxie. CJ Godzilla keeps it away. Duxie, the new addition for Aura Hornets this season. Didn't look too bad in their week 1 match. I mean, against a team like the Chill Stars, who are so good at team chemistry. Really going to help. It's really going to be tough to keep up with them. As here's CJ Godzilla. Following up is Beziki, aka John Scopes, as now he'll leave it in the midfield. Up goes Vast. And Aura Hornets not really letting anything through so far. We've seen a couple demos from Aura Hornets early. It feels like they have the better idea of how to break through these defensive lines of their opponents than Ukiyo Kaizen do on theirs, but Nothing happening so far. A lot of half chances. A lot of plays in the midfield. I don't go answer. This might go though, but it's Bezuki who gets the end of it. Ukiyo Kaizen will keep that one away as CJ Godzilla. Here's Bezuki. The net's wide open. And Ukiyo Kaizen's on the board as it was just left up in front, and Clarky, who usually is so confident in his positioning, just not able to read that one. And it is Ukiyo Kaizen up one. Now they'll look for more. It's Bezuki again trying to sneak one by Vasts. He'll be on the end of this one as Duxie takes the dribble. He's got pass two. Still Duxie. Up his Vast, so it's going to go off the back wall. Clarky can't score from here. Or Hornets. Waiting as, I don't know where Bezuki's doing over there. He's hanging out by the corner as his teammates will try to get that ball out. Here goes Vast. He's missed a chance in front of the net. And we've already seen a couple whiffs of the Oro Hornets. They're not exactly a high-ranked team in this division. Those whiffs are only going to make things tougher for you, as that's all Ukiyo Kaizen's waiting for is openings, his chances. They know how to make their chances, so if you give them any, they'll be more than happy to take it. As Duxie again has Vast to follow, saved by Bezuki. A lot of plays in front of that net here. Ukiyo Kaizen giving a good amount of room here to Oro Hornets in front of that net, especially on other high aerial solo efforts. Bezuki has just passed that back to Duxie. He's not on your team anymore. As here goes Fast. Get through CJ Godzilla. Bezuki. Here away. Clarky to net. Aesbo will be waiting. Again, there's nobody out there I know that wants to win this more than Aesbo does in many respects. He wanted to win it so badly last season. This season, he's really just tried to assemble the best roster he can to win this Phoenix Cup, and again, I think many consider this to be a top-level team. Hoping that through 2 weeks they can kind of continue to test the Chill Stars and who can lead this division. The Chill Stars have done their work. They've swept their first 2 weeks, including a match against Affinity Mirage, who themselves made top 8 in the Catalyst division last season. In fact, actually, they didn't even make top 8. They made top 4 last season. Actually, they were the team that eliminated Oro Hornets in the quarterfinals, so Chill Stars definitely have done their work. They're putting the pressure on Ukiyo Kaizen to keep up with them, and well, overall, it's not going to likely matter as these teams stay undefeated, and it's going to only be that last week that's going to determine things, but still, you really want to put the pressure on your opponents to keep up with you in game differential. Not really for any sort of specific advantage, it's more so just to kind of try to show up each other here and really again, make them know just exactly how you want to play this tournament here. As CJ will find Bezuki. It's Aesbo to end game 1. They haven't scored much, they haven't had many chances, but when they have had them, they have done well to attack the back wall where the Oro Hornets are known to be weaker. 2 goals for Ukiyo Kaizen will be enough in game 1. This game starting exactly the way they want it to. Offense may not be as strong, but they don't need a strong offense. They just need to keep the Oro Hornets guessing. As Clarky's going to do a great job of keeping this ball in the air. As I said before, he may be from EU, but he's got some incredible skill. Fortunately, it's very tough to find space when this Ukiyo Kaizen team is not exactly giving you easy room to work with. Take game 1, a 2-1 scoreline. It wasn't a lot of goals, definitely not as much as Ukiyo Kaizen wants, but exactly how they want to play this game, at least starting out, is just keeping good tempo, keeping good consistency. They know that there are definitely places where this Oro Hornets team are quite weak, mechanically, and the back wall is going to be one of them. Definitely pay attention to that factor, because if that back wall stays open like that from Oro Hornets, you're going to see players like Bezuki really attack that. He's a good aerial-based player. He's been here before. I know he likes to attack that back wall. Oro Hornets are going to really need to cover that well, because Ukiyo Kaizen really take advantage of it. Says, we go into game 2. The action continues as the Ukiyo Kaizen side trying to keep the goals going. It will be Oro Hornets with the first chance. Upside wall. CJ leaves it for Acebo as that will be dribbled down the middle of the field. Key. Unable to get through Vast as a demo from Clarkey will leave Acebo alone. Now Acebo's taken out of the field, but it is Beziki in midfield. It will be kept out by the Hornets as up again goes Beziki. Has Vast to the back wall. Can't get the second touch. Will leave it for CJ Godzilla. Clarkey already doing a better job this game of holding on the back wall, but the Hornets gotta be careful on that boost as Duxie will. It's a great first touch, actually. He's gonna send it up to himself, and CJ Godzilla not letting him get any chances. Let it out right there. Hornets all race back. And doing a better job this game at holding onto that back wall, but a lot of it is using a good amount of boost out of their tanks, so they gotta be careful not to run out here if they're gonna keep that back wall clean. As now Vast, he's running on low, it's right in front of the net. CJ Godzilla kept away. And Clarkey, unable to clear things out. Beziki in front of the net. It will be Vast's again. His demo's ring out. Acebo got rid of Vast there. That back line is a bit more open now as Beziki can't get the flip reset he wanted. Here goes CJ Godzilla. That's on target to go. And Clarkey will keep it away. Great work from Clarkey too. Just winning these challenges. He won't get offense from this, but he'll keep the ball away from his net. His team desperately needs it away. As now Beziki again. That's off the bar. It's in front of the net. Duxie doesn't have enough boost. Clarkey's on none. Vast is on none. Here goes Acebo. That's kept away as Clarkey jumps up in time. Vast taken out. The Hornets with a chance to breathe now. With all that pressure on, that rotation needs to be strong as the Hornets, again, just holding on to defense as long as they can. Here goes Beziki. Clarkey taken out. The net's there. He can't score this one. Clarkey's whiffed. It's in front, but it will be kept away. And all of a sudden, it's silence. The Hornets have escaped defense for now. No goals scored just yet. Beziki removed from the pitch. As here goes Clark, he can hit these as he'll leave it for Vast. That one saved away as Acebo got in the middle of the net and made himself tall. Maybe the best chance this game so far for the Hornets, and right in front of the goal as well. That is a perfect place to shoot. Shot straight though at Acebo. I think a few more chances like that. Surely one goes in. This might be it though. It will be. Duxie gets it. And the Hornets, of an awkward play in the midfield, it was not the touch that Beziki wanted. And Duxie just puts a car on it. He puts his bumper on it. And sometimes when you just put it at net, sometimes things go your way. The Hornets now lead by 1. After over 3 minutes of gameplay. That being the first goal of this game. The pressure on this Ukiyo side to perform well. They're one of many Ukiyo teams last season. There's far fewer of them this season, though. Ukiyo themselves, again, with less teams now. Many of which are still very well known here. As here goes Clarkey. He's got room. It's kept out by Acebo. Now Vast. That's on the wrong direction as Duxie. Acebo. Up goes Vast as will be kept away by Beziki. Duxie. CJ. Clarkey. Acebo. Beziki kept away as here goes Duxie. Back wall. He can hit those. And Beziki not taking any chances. He'll clear it away. And this is right in front of the net though. Acebo will keep it out, but he got bumped away, so he doesn't have boost here as Vast's running rampant on the back wall. Will be CJ Godzilla though, who will get that touch. Acebo was going up for a bump there. He's got no one behind him. I gotta go back, and CJ didn't beat that! And it's just gonna roll in off of Vast's touch. CJ got completely fooled here. He stopped moving too. He was not ready for that fake. And he knew immediately he wasn't in the position to save that one. We've seen a couple more fakes on those passes before. As Duxie, for 3! In the back of the net, the Hornets may have just secured game 2 here. And again, a lot more awkward passing plays in the Hornets, but it's working really well. Because again, there's a lot more fakes, there's a lot more cohesiveness between them. Those passing plays are what the Hornets are known for. And as you see, and as you can see, if they can get things to go, they're going to be in a great position to be successful as CJ Godzilla. He keeps it away. Acebo. Tessa, he doesn't have a lot of boost here, Vest, but he'll be kept out anyways. Is still low here. But the Hornets will take game 2 here. Much better performance than game 1. Much more lively, much more active. The passes are definitely flowing between them. This is what you want if you're a Hornets fan, because this is what this team's known for. As a 3-0 scoreline, the Hornets very solid here after this game 2 performance, but of course still a lot more to go in this series. There's still a lot more left in it. This is not going to be as easy as maybe the Ukiyo Kaizen side expected. But again, they got to keep this team's got to keep that consistency going here as we enter our 3rd game in this best of 5. Ukiyo Kaizen lead a way to really slow down the Hornets here. Advantage of maybe trying to use up that boost out of them. The Hornets have boost, they really do know how to make those plays work. As, again, this is a team that has pretty good chemistry, as that's going to go across the net. Duxie will... Therefore it is. Beziki. Ooh, that's not a good touch there from Beziki. It's straight to Vasts, and he'll leave this one in the midfield. That's pinched all the way back. Clarky can't get to it, but it'll be a tough touch for Acebo to make. Hornets stay on this. Kaizen clears it back. CJ unable to beat this one as... Oh, Vast got past too. Last one back is Beziki, but the Fleck will do anything to beat him, and he's going to keep this ball now. Pumped away by Clarky. Acebo. Oh, a great demo from Beziki. It's going to open up room. Shot on, save. Here goes CJ Godzilla. Flip reset. We'll leave it away as Clarky clears it back. A perfectly timed demo from Beziki. We haven't seen much of that since game 1, but it created his havoc, and Acebo will score. That demo really did ruin the rotation of the Hornets, and if that rotation's not there, this team panics. And they panic quickly, too. As here goes Vast, looking for another one. That flick will not test him too hard. As the offense continues. As here goes Acebo, he gets it! Ukiyo Kaizen, have a second. As Acebo just holds on. Hornets looking to continue at least some semblance of what they did in game 2, but man, these demos are making a difference here, and that is a wide open net for Beziki. As Acebo, he is just wrecking everyone. Is off the back wall. Oh, it's in! Great play from Mentesi. And the goals keep flying through as the Hornets now get on the board. And the offense of Hornets maybe has now gotten itself its kickstart. As Aizbo clears it away, Ukiyo continuing on the attack as here goes CJ back to Beziki, but it's gonna be Duxie here. That's off the back wall. Aizbo keeps it out as Clarky, the Hornets, gonna chase them down. Ukiyo's just gonna wait on this. They've got the lead. They've got the goals. It all comes down to, can the Hornets find their own chances? Up the sidewall, Duxie again. CJ, middle of the field. Here goes Fasts, back wall. Inched away. Clarky. It'll just be for Vasts. Now Clarky again. Hornets just hold on as a big demo will open up some room. Here goes Duxie. That's in the midfield. Will be clear back as... Oh, Aizbo's whiffed on this one. In goes Vasts. It will be Clarky again. Oh, he jumped early for that. Won't be able to get the shot. Neither can Vasts. And poor Duxie's just got to watch as his teammates fail to be able to shoot this one. And that close to the net as well. You want something for your efforts. It's Clarky again. Sent back by Aizbo as Montesi leaves it for Duxie. The Hornets again trying to go upfield, but and they just are getting cut out on these plays. There is just not that same level that we saw last game, and that's going to be a goal for Beziki. And with Game 3 almost certainly over, or Game 3, yeah, almost certainly over, it's going to be a 2-1 lead now for the Ukiyo Kaizen side. One away from winning this series with the Hornets. It's a thing I've said, I feel like it's a thing I've said before about this team. They can be a top-tier team. The consistency just isn't there for them, especially when they get scored on early. They just don't seem to have that consistency. Be able to maintain what we saw, what they can do in Game 2. Because if they play like they did in Game 2, they could win a lot of these matches. Again, consistency has always been somewhat of an issue for the Hornets, especially when they get scored on early. Fortunately, in this game, I think it's a prime example of that. They just could not do what they did in Game 2. And that means now, Ukiyo Kaizen's one away from winning this thing. In prime position to take down the Hornets in Week 2. For the Hornets, it would be an 0-2 record. They're not out of this thing, not by a long shot, but man, it makes things tough in a 5-week season. Pressure really is on the Hornets to pull it all together here, else this is going to be a very, very long Week 2 for them. Very bad start to their season. That's not uncommon for teams that move up from a division below, but even then, you want to get off to a good start, especially from the division below. You get yourself that win. You know what you're playing against. So tough to adapt to this division when you don't win your first couple of weeks. Ukiyo Kaizen will, again, be on the cusp of winning their second week in a row. For a team that is trying to win the whole thing, you need to get off to an amazing start, because usually the teams that do well in the regular season also do well in that final bracket. As there Godzilla, challenged by Duxie. CJ will find Aizbo as that's in front of the net. Here goes CJ again. Will be kept out by Vasts as the Hornets. Everybody on that back wall now. Aizbo will chip this one, and a little awkward. That's a back pass to CJ to the stayed by Clarky. It was a great idea there from Beziki. He was far too close to the net to even get a chance to shoot that one. So shooting it, just laying the pass in front to CJ, knowing that everybody from the Hornets is waiting back. A creative idea, and it's one of the reasons why I like Beziki as a player on this roster. He has a good mind. He can do a lot of things as well in the field. You put him in a position, he's likely to be able to fit well into it. He's definitely a player who just is able to do simple things and do them well. Maybe not everybody else would be thinking about. Here goes Clarky. Vast again. It's another whiff in front of that here. Vast had a couple of those plays. We just hasn't gotten a shot on as Acebo's whiffed on this. It will be Beziki though, and he's got a great first touch. Will he use that flip to pinch it by Clarky? That's gonna bounce towards the goal as well. 2 up for Hornets. As Duxie bumped out the way. Will be Clarky up the corner as this is CJ Godzilla. Ukiyo Kaizen on offense. But they'll be stopped right there as the Hornets send it right back to their half. Beziki, that's a huge touch up the back wall, and chasing after it here are 2 players from Kaizen. Still in their blue half though, and here goes Clarky. But no one in front. There is nobody there for the Hornets. Where was everybody? They were all waiting in the midfield. That's the kind of play where if you're Clarky, you're gonna be fuming because that is right in front of the net. There's no one able to challenge as that's gone up the bar. Clarky's getting a lot of things done this game, but we need to see that confidence for the Hornets. Here is that one! Oh, Duxie, that's got to go in. An open chance. You're not going to see many of those against this Ukiyo Kaizen side. Still no goals here in Game 4. Kaizen not scoring that much in the series to begin with. All it really takes is that first goal to really open the floodgates. I think if whoever scores first is going to win this game, and that will determine obviously the rest of the series. Whether either Game 5 or the end right here is the Hornets! We'll take it. Clarky's been asking. He's been shooting a lot all game. He's finally gotten a chance he can put in. And this one, smash in the top of the net. Yeah, there's no chance for Beziki. That's right behind him. And if my prediction's true here, or Hornets are going to force Game 5 in this matchup, the Ukiyo Kaizen team that many consider to be a top-tier roster in this grouping, maybe facing a lot more issues now. And CJ Godzilla. Acebo. Back to Beziki! Oh, it's perfect! It's on the line! Oh, it's kept out! How does that stay out? I mean, that was a perfect passing play. Ukiyo Kaizen, you couldn't have asked for much better from them. The shot rings up the post, and it just doesn't go in. They'll try again here. Beziki. Stopped by Vast. That's off the side wall. And the Hornets will keep it out. Acebo. Duxie to the ceiling. Not be first to it. He's ran out of boost, and it means Beziki will get it out. As Acebo again holds on to it in the back wall. Demoed away by Clarky. Beziki a bit hesitant to jump for this, and that's going to mean this ball is still very close to the net. Is a bit awkward. Beziki will get to it. And he's not going to get over Clarky, though. And Ukiyo Kaizen still stuck on defense in the midfield. Acebo's got to win this one. He won't be able to do so as Duxie drops it down. We haven't seen many chances for these players to really put in some great mechanical efforts, but this is one such time. And the Hornets now up by 2. Ukiyo Kaizen, it feels like just out of hope now in Game 4. It was a long battle this time around, a very long game without any goals scored. Clarky will get things started. Hornets follow suit. Now Clarky looking for number 3. It will be kept out by Beziki. Ukiyo Kaizen now will accept their fate. We're going to Game 5 here. Champions Field awaits us here in Week 2. As for Ukiyo Kaizen, believe me, destined if they are as good as many say they are. Against this Hornets team. The Hornets are giving them some trouble. Game 5 ahead. Hornets could go 1-1 against a pretty solid opponent here, and Ukiyo Kaizen would definitely be good for the Hornets and their confidence. He himself leading his roster in Game 4 with 5 shots, and first goal, that really did change things. We need to see another inspired effort like that from Clarky again here. We're in Game 5, we're in Champions Field. For Ukiyo Kaizen, who again, many consider to be one of the best teams in this group, maybe even the best team in this group. Getting a... Again, as I said before, last season they did pretty well, but last season they got a rude awakening in that their group, the top 16, proved that they have a lot to go through, a lot to work on. And it's very true this season as well here for them. Really learning pretty early, even against a team like the Hornets, who many consider a long shot to win this season. Although not too long of a shot, honestly. I mean, they're a good team. They've got what it takes. If they play it the way that they know they can absolutely win this thing. Against a team like the Hornets, who coming this are definitely a lower seeded team. Proving that this division's closer than people expect it to be. Clarky up the back wall. It'll be Vast, flicks it high. Duxie can't shoot. He will stay with this one as he's not going to get that read. As Duxie again, that's going to go in! Beziki couldn't get on the end of it! It just bounced midfield and Duxie was the first to it. Well, it wasn't a very powerful shot. I mean, Ukiyo Kaizen, with where that shot's coming from, they don't have a lot of time to react. It doesn't really matter how powerful that shot is. As the Hornets will score first very early on in this game. I mean, this has been a matchup where most of these games have taken a very long time before somebody puts the ball in the back of the net. Clarky will Cookster pinch it away. A little bit of room here as Beziki's got to jump for this. It's fast, so he was looking to see if he could test him. As here goes Beziki. Clarky's going to be there for it. Aesbo. 2 touch up the sidewall. He'll still jump in. It's in front of the nets. Clarky, he's got a bit of a heavy touch here, and this will be room for Ukiyo Kaizen to make things happen as DJ Godzilla. Beziki, he pushed him a bit high there, and he's missed it. It's open for Vast, and it's gonna go in for the Hornets. Beziki needed to step up this game. This is not the start you want from the player that is kind of the glue for this Ukiyo Kaizen roster. And the Hornets are looking to get things done here in Week 2 after a tough first week against the Chill Stars. Who, again, are another top-tier roster here, who just swept the Torrent roster in this group as well. Or Hornets. Proving that, and with how the Chill Stars are playing, that they're going to be just as good as some of the other teams at the top of this group, and that's a good sign for them. Again, coming from the Catalyst Cup last season, usually for teams it's very tough to accommodate them to kind of get into a higher division and really be able to play well in it, but maybe that change in Duxie's helped them out here, and it definitely has here. 2 goals this game. Tap the games ago, and for Ukiyo Kaizen, who went up early in this group, I think many consider to be the favorites in this matchup, meeting their match in the Hornets. Kaizen, 2 minutes to go, but they're going to have to get back in this quickly, and CJ Godzilla will get them on the board. Chances, some plays, some opportunities. They're going to be happy about this. There's still a lot to go through here as Kaizen now need another. CJ. Clarky. Aesbo. It'll be Vasts, but chance for Aesbo, he won't even jump on that, so it'll be cleared away as Here goes. Oh, he's missed it completely here. A chance for Clarky. As it will be Duxius. Someone asking in chat, what rank are these players? This is the Phoenix Cup. This is 1600 to 1750 MMR. So about GC2 to GC3. You might see maybe a GC1 player every once in a while, but GC2, GC3 for the most part. As Ukiyo Kaizen clear this one back, it's going to be Larky to keep things up in the air. Ooh, a bit awkward here. The Hornets will win this one, and with a minute to go now, Ukiyo Kaizen, only one goal so far. They'll need another. This might be their chance as CJ Godzilla leaves it for Beziki. It's under Vast. It's off the bar. It is in front of the net, but it won't be able to go in. It's pinched off. Everybody jumped in on that one. There were 6 players on the front post. But that ball does not go in. Ukiyo Kaizen will try again. But Aesbo missed the target. Beziki not able to get it. CJ Godzilla off the sidewall. As he'll go into this play. 30 seconds left. Aesbo again. He'll roll this one off the sidewall and it's cleared back as CJ Godzilla. Off back wall. Beziki can't read it. Here goes Aesbo. Beziki up the corner. CJ Godzilla. Oh, and he missed it as well. That might have given them a chance to come back in this game, but now there is not enough time left. Game 5 will go to the Hornets. As 2 big miss opportunities late will seal the deal. And the Hornets, who, coming into this division, were definitely not a high seed. A big victory over Ukiyo Kaizen. One that I don't think a lot of people expected. Sure, they'll be more than happy about that. Five games. Very, very intense series, but the Hornets will get their first win of the season. Their record now improves to 1-1. As for Ukiyo, their record now falls to 1-1. Fortunately for Ukiyo Kaizen, they're gonna have a thing. They're gonna have a couple things to work on here. Simply put, it just feels like they're a team that's a bit too emotional. Because every game they got scored on first, they really could not come back into it. They didn't look like themselves. Fortunately, that happened more times than they would like to admit, and that means now that the Hornet side now trying to compete at the top of the division. Again, they only lost so far against the Chill Stars, who I think many have as a top tier team. Ukiyo Kaizen, they're really going to be behind the Chill Stars now. They're trying to compete with the Chill Stars for the top part of that group. Now they're basically competing with Torrent Typhoon to be second in the group at this point, and maybe compete with the Chill Stars, who again are looking right now like a pretty good opponent. 5 games, a strong start to their season. Almost certainly, at least in this game. Maybe not entirely, but definitely a strong start this time around. Not an easy win, but you gotta win some of these in Game 5. It's not always gonna be easy for you. As again, we're gonna have another match coming up pretty soon here. If we take a look at our, surely it will be the Phantom Legacy match versus Infamous Thieves Eternal. That'll be a good matchup. Infamous Thieves Eternal, including many of the remnants. I think they're keeping a lot of the same players from last season. They were in the Catalyst Cup. Were they Eternal as well last season? They might have been. No, they were Nemesis last season. Team, by the way, Nemesis. Themselves made top 12 in the Catalyst Cup, which is again pretty impressive considering that there were 32 teams last season in that. But again, Ukiyo Kaizen or Hornets going to Game 5. That was a match that was well worth it, that's for certain. And again, I'm impressed as well. As it looks like we're gonna get an interview with the Hornets here. That is if they want one. But again, we might get an interview with the Hornets. That's what I'm holding on for right now, because I know I just asked them, and they may not want one. Again, well, we get an answer on that. Again, that match coming up later, Phantom Legacy, not actually a completely new roster either. Players on that team returning from last season. Clash, their captain, actually was on Serenix Esports last season. Was also the Catalyst Cup. They, I think, also made top 12. As again, no, we're getting, okay, the answer is no. We're not going to get into here with the Hornets, so I'm gonna go to I'm gonna actually end stream here because we're 30 minutes before our next before stream even goes live for the next match. So I'm gonna raid out. Thank you all so much for joining the Ascent Tournament Series main stream. Again, we'll be live later tonight in like 30 minutes from now, with that next series. So raid out. Thank you all so much for joining the Ascent Tournament Series main stream. Take care. We'll see you guys in like 30 minutes when it is the Catalyst Cup with Phantom Legacy versus Infamous Thieves Eternal.